Hello and welcome back to GT Retro World. Well, today we have another bit of nostalgia that I've just come across. It's a Nevada catalogue, Nevada Communications that is, ham radio, CB radio and whatever else they sold back in 1991. And it's the first ham radio catalogue I actually sent for. And at the time I was only just a teenager, you know, and you just been dreaming about half of this stuff in here. I've ended up with a few of the bits and bobs over the years, but at the time obviously I couldn't afford half of this stuff. So we'll have a little look through it anyway. There's a lot of pages missing from it, like I say, but it's just a bit of nostalgia, and it's just one for me, the journey that I'm still continuing with my channel. And as soon as I get this journey out the way, the quicker I can get on to other things, but there's still a long way to go. So bear with me anyway, guys. Anyway, this is the first page of what's left of it, and this is the Jim PSUs at the time. Do you remember those? Some may not. I remember the preamp because I had one, and it wasn't actually, it was alright, you know what I mean? It worked within reason. Preamps are a bit of a grey area, aren't they, really? You know, I'm not really that fussed on them, but they work within reason. This is the new generation, they called it then, the Bearcat BC200 and the 205 XLT. Really popular indeed anyway. Now the AR1500, what an amazing scanner that was. That was my first SSB scanner I ever had. I loved that thing, it was great. That was when scanners were useful, do you know what I mean? When you could hear everything, literally everything. But yeah, I had one of those. The 2800, the 2500 turbo, yeah. All quite nice really, this lot, weren't they? Back in the day. Nevada's MS1000, the Fairmate HP2000 AM/FM scanner, quite well regarded as well back in its day. The Alinco DGX1, fantastic that. I love that thing, me. Yeah, it was brilliant that. Yeah, fantastic scanner. Yeah, I didn't have that long, mind you, because that's when I upgraded to SSB. But yeah, anyway, I had one. I think everyone's had a Bearcat 760 in one form or other, you know, over the years. Nevada bookshelf each, books here, scanners. Do you remember the scanners editions, don't you? They did a 1, 2 and a 3rd edition. I've still got the 3rd edition somewhere. It would be somewhere that, I'm not too sure about the rest, but like I say, scanners 3rd edition, without. The Shortwave Confidential listings, I've got that on a printout, that. I think most people have got that. It'll be online anyway, that thing now, won't it? But yeah, but that was popular. The Scanners 3rd edition, fantastic. Yeah, proper book that. What have we got here? I remember seeing this advert. You know, when you seen that advert and you seen that Jaguar, you thought, yeah, man, that looks a business, that, doesn't it? But no, I've never had one. I have no idea what they were like. It was just a small little thing, wasn't it? But yeah, the advert looks the business, doesn't it? Anyway, so look at what have we got here. The Upper Tiru, they were fantastic scanners as well, weren't they? Yeah, 5000 handheld. Never had one, to be honest. No, I never had one of these. Like I say, these are well sought after, aren't they? Radios. Scanner antennas, Discones. I was never a fan of Discones, to be honest. I think a wire was just as good. I always fancied a long periodic though. Never tried one, but I always fancied one. There was a lad over, well, I think he was an old bloke actually. Yeah, he had one a few streets away. I have no idea how it performed, but I can imagine it being pretty good, like, you know. Highly directional, them things, aren't they? As far as I'm aware, anyway, well, it will be, won't it? Yeah, the Stapletone MBR7, very popular, that thing, wasn't it? I never had one, to be honest. At the time I had my Alba, my CR35, so I just used that really as a radio. Obviously this did a lot more, like, you know, covered a lot more of the shortwave bands, and it did FM Marine and all, didn't it, and PMR. Yeah, no, very popular, that radio, wasn't it? Yeah, right, let's have a little look at it. Yeah, they are there, look, the 3000 there. Yeah, that was really popular, that thing, wasn't it? And bloody expensive, if I remember rightly. Yeah, I always fancied one of them. There was a lad who nearly bought one off down the town, but I think he wanted too much at the time. Actually, he didn't. He It was a fair price, I just couldn't afford it. But I regret not trying one of them. It's still a fantastic set there anyway, can't see why not. HF225, still got one of them. Yeah, that was brilliant. It probably still is, to be honest. I'll get it down one day and we'll give it a basher, see if it fires up. Will do anyway, can't see why not. But yeah, I actually seen one of those on Martin Lynch's. He's been trying to get rid of one of them now, hasn't he, for the past, looks to be months and months, you know. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with those for HF. Fantastic. Yeah, oh, there wasn't years ago anyway. Right, big communications receivers now. Never had one of these. I always thought they were a bit overpriced, so I just stayed away from them. I just thought, right, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it properly. I'll go with a transmitter. So I just bought a bigger set instead. My first big radio, to be honest, was an ICOM 737, which was fantastic, by the way. I'd love another one of them. Yeah, I would mount, actually. These were probably great HF receivers. But yeah, it didn't really interest me, I suppose. On to the Sony receivers, very popular these things, weren't they? Very popular indeed. Never had one. Like I say, they were a bit overpriced for what I was wanting out of a receiver. Doug found these as well. These are International Shortwave League monitor books when I was a member of that years and years ago. Like I say, these are 80s, these 85, look 84. I was only a kid. Well, yeah, it's yeah, great days. Yeah, but like I say, these were a bit later on in very early 1990, 1991 type of thing. So I was past that scope of the things then. I wanted TX. Again, another general coverage receiver from NRD. I bet these were great. Never tried one. You know, these were popular, the 150s, because they're only cheap. Drake, another great company. 2 meter didn't really interest me at the time. I could listen to that on radios. It didn't interest me whatsoever. Now these, I always fancied trying one of these, because I used to cause a bit of problems with a guy over the road. Then all of a sudden he said one day he was getting no issue off me whatsoever, so I didn't bother. 25, 30 watts, it wasn't really worth the hassle, really, was it? If you're going to run power, you run at least 100, didn't you, really? Big variable capacitors on this side here, look, and cases, transmatch cases. Yeah, turns counter. Yeah, components there. Right, the big stuff. TS950, never had one, but I'll tell you one thing, I used to love my 940S. Oh my god, I had 2 940s. I love those. I should have tried one of these, but it was the analog signal meter that always kept me with the 940s. And I just liked the 940. I don't know what it was, something about the 940 I really liked. 440 never had a 450. Oh, here we go. Well, we've got 2 pages stuck together there. We have going to miss a page there, look. ICOM 765HF, never had one. 735, never had one. Had a 725 though. And I tell you one thing, who remembers the 781? Dear God, that thing there was, that was the business, that wasn't it? I'll try and hold this up a bit more so you can have a bit better look at it there. Do you remember that, guys? 781. Yeah, it was like ahead of its time, wasn't it? Because it had a screen on it. I know it was only CRT, but 5-inch. Yeah, it was a business. Wasn't touchscreen, obviously, yeah. Dear me. Yeah, can you imagine that? But yeah, Spectrum score back then. It was just a nice thing, wasn't it, by the looks of it? I can't remember how much that was, but I could have sworn it was knocking at the door, £3,000 or £4,000. I can't remember, but it was a lot of money. A lot of money. Yeah. But yeah, that was the business. Dual band Andels didn't interest me again, but you've got the IC24 there, the 2SE, and you know, the TM731, which is a dual bander, 2 meter, 70 centimeter. On to CBs there. Hey, I think everyone's had a B150. You know, those have changed over the years. This is the first generation of them, isn't it? This, yeah, what we have here. Yeah, I always fancied one of these 750s, but the 24 volts was just a bit of a nuisance, wasn't it? To power, I suppose, at the time. So we always went for the 550s or the 300Ps. This is the old, like I say, this is the older generation what we got here. Which I think it's just basically the same linears. But yeah, the 550 was really good. The 300 was okay. I mean, they were okay. They just never did the power they said. They were never 200 watts, these 300p's. Not on the multi Sundays. They were always like 150ish, weren't they? Or thereabouts. My dad liked Team stuff. He didn't half, yeah. He had a Team radio in his car. And to me, I thought these were shit. But there you go. That's just my thought on the thing. Especially that Team on bass. I had one of them. What a racket. Yeah, what a garbage. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So look what we got here. Again, this was when all the ship boxes started floating about, wasn't it? I always thought. These Maxons, the Sept ones. These were like, this was like a blue colour. Do you remember? It was like it was an awful thing, wasn't it? Like a naked dirty blue. Not nice at all. Never had one of these Jason Ready Rescues. Never seen them, to be honest, in the flesh. These were popular. Obviously the Midlands 104s were quite popular. I don't remember seeing one in silver, that one. I'm looking at that. Yeah, it looks like it could be silver, that. Yeah, I've got a few of them, but they're like black. But I don't think, yeah, I can say I don't. Yeah. Satcom Scan 4000 bass. I've never had one. It looked alright, didn't it? But like I say, it was Sept, so you just avoided it really. It never really took off over here, did it, as such. Satcom, never had one. I had a Pro 620, which I had only sold maybe 5-6 years ago, which I've got down in my notes. I had a couple of them actually, and I sold them to the same bloke. Again, they were pretty much useless, weren't they? With them being Sept. This is when they were trying to, I don't know, trying to move us over, I think. Didn't work though, did it? The Midland 77255. Maxcom 30E, I've got one of them still. Definitely got one of them. That's a nice tidy one as well, wherever that is, but I've got one. Yeah, those are a bit odd and all. I didn't like the way the signal meter was on the right hand side, which is a bit odd, wasn't it? Again, yeah, this was a bit of a weird time to CB, I think. A few Andes there, look, the J-Sands. Sea Rangers, I think everyone's had one of them. If you're into ship to shore, you've had a Sea Ranger. I've still got one, mine's all black, you know, but these are fantastic. These, I love these, me. I've still got one, like I say. Yeah, I used to like I say, I still like listening to Ship to Shore. It's always on in the background as a road squelched up. Yeah. Now this was a bit of an interest. When I found this, I thought this was a bit interesting because this is 1991, don't forget, and 934, they reckon, was still, you know, about, well, obviously they're selling it here, and they're saying here, stating, contrary to rumour, this band is not dead. Admittedly, equipment is becoming harder to find, especially when looking for a radio. However, we here at Nevada still stock the majority of accessories, preamps, antennas, cable and amplifiers. Occasionally we do have the odd second-hand Delta 1 fully serviced by our own workshops, almost as good as new. So you've got the Masted power preamplifiers here. So they'll output like 11 watts, 5 to 11 watts anyway. And you remember that these loop antennas, obviously that's what a lot of them used, didn't they, back in the day? Like, yeah, I've still got a couple of Delta ones actually. Do you know, I don't even know if there'll be no wrong with them, I doubt. It'd be nice to fire them up actually, wouldn't it? Have a little play, see what's it's, you know, yeah, could be interesting. Skylab, popular antenna back then. Proper high gain, half wave, 5/8 waves. These antennas were built properly, or the end of it anyway. Yeah. Bull whips. See, these are all like copies of like Cherokees, the half breeds, and the modulators by the looks of it. K40 there. Superlance base antenna, absolute junk. You know, anyone who wants to pull me on that, fair enough, but I thought they were absolute garbage. I mean, the size of it, useless. I wouldn't like to put 500 watts through it either, but anyway. We've got the Salute 27E, which is basically a clone of the Avanti Sigma 4. Again, 3/4 wave antenna. Yeah, I have no idea what those were like, but probably a very good clone, no doubt. You know, The Vector 4000 obviously is the latest one. It's not on par with half of these things that were made back then, but it's doable, I suppose. We all remember the Spectrum 200. It's basically what we have with Stereo now, which is the equivalent of the Stereo 2016. I don't think it's got as many ground planes on it, but very similar, you know what I mean? I mean, this is all CTE, by the way. When CTE was big, I think CTE must have... Do you know what, I haven't even looked into it, I should really, but I think obviously Stereo must have bought CTE out, or is CTE Stereo, I'm not too sure. I'll look into that anyway, or someone will pull me up on the channel, no doubt. Home King Mini Beam, there's someone in Thornaby I used to know who had one of those. I think it worked extremely well, to be honest. Little mono bander. Now this is a bit interesting here, seeing this SWR power meter tester from Bremy. This must have been some of the last Bremy that was, you know, dear God, yeah, 1991. Still seeing Bremy on the shelf. There you go. Yeah, boomerangs, they work quite well if you got them high enough. Yeah, let's have a look on the next page. Yeah, it's going to be a long one, isn't it? I'm waffling on again. Maxon 49 megahertz handheld. I think it's more businesses use like that, but it's bloody garbage really. Not my cup of tea. This is when all the new well, they call it Japanese cables, isn't it? At the time it was all like grey, like your mini 8s and stuff, wasn't it? I mean, I didn't call it mini 8 back then, as you can see. But yeah, it was nice when this coming because it was so pliable, wasn't it? It was great. Yeah. As you 213, oh, I used to love that stuff. Bloody hell! I remember drilling through my dad's, my mum and dad's new windows, right through, straight through the bloody wood. It was wood at the time, wasn't it? Yeah, right through there. A couple of runs of that straight through to your antennas there. There you go. Naughty nail there. Anyway, plugs and connectors, plenty of them. Still relevant today, that lot, aren't they, to be honest? Antenna mounts, I was always a gutter mount lad. Always a gutter mount lad. Yes, well aye. Just on the driver's side. Always did me well enough anyway. No problems whatsoever. And he was a quick disconnect. Never had any bother with that either. And it was wobbly. Yeah, they used to always wobble about, didn't they, them things, but again, worked a treat. The Limpet mag base, do you remember that? Limpet. Extension S meters, I vaguely remember these, but like I say, no interest to me. A remote masthead switch, it's probably quite handy. British made as well, Microphones, antenna switches, matches. I mean, half of this is junk, isn't it, really? You know, a CB matchbox, what I think they call it there. Yeah. Alan EC92 echo chamber. So that'd be like the ES990 type of thing, no doubt. Oh, no, that's fitted with the Roger Bleep, that. Don't remember that at all. There you go. I know the later ones had Roger Bleeps. We all remember these, don't we? Dear God. Remember the Sedel Echo Master Plus? The business, that. Absolutely the business. Fantastic. I think everyone had one of them. They sounded great, didn't they? I think they were a bit feeble build on them, but, you know, they work well. I don't remember any of these. Like, I think everyone just ignored them things, didn't they, really? Like you say, these two is what you wanted back then. Yeah, new for 91. There we are. Look, there's 91. New for 91, Yeah. There you go. Right, now this here, this was quite popular, wasn't it? I never tried one, but I know everyone used to go on about them all the time and used to say they were fantastic. The Sedelta American Mic MC7 incorporates a ceramic mic insert which provides a well-known quality audio made famous by the Turner JM2 Plus U. Alright, I wasn't aware of that. Now I love that microphone. The JM2 Plus U is fantastic. I've got two of them. I only recently picked the second one up actually. The first one was the wife's. Right, I wasn't aware of that. Right, there's the little EC990 down here, look. Great them. They were fantastic. A lot of the lads I know knew had them. Yeah. Power supplies, there was no wrong with Satagi power supplies. Fantastic them things. Better than the linears, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah, they were great them. Do you know what? I can't remember which one I had now, but I definitely had a Setagi power supply, and it was something like this. Didn't have any meters on it. It could have been something like that. I just remember, I thought it had more rounded sides on it, but I can't remember. I'm sure it was only 25 amps. It would have been 50 or 40. I want to be in a little afford a 40, 50 amp power supply back then. Jesus, no chance. Extension speakers. Wiring for microphones there. Quite handy, yeah. Back in the day. I can't even remember even seeing that in here. Showing you all the radios and whatnot and wiring, yeah. Setagi microphones didn't interest me in the least at all. I've still got the Setagi C57's frequency counter, and I still think it's a good little counter. That I haven't had it out for years either, but yeah, good little counter. But I wouldn't mind one of these microphone testers. I'd give that away, you know. Again, it wasn't that long ago, and I could do with another one of them back, really. I know they still make these, don't they? I know, like I say, these don't. I think everyone's made them, Altai, Alan, and a lot, haven't they? Dummy loads, yeah, 50 watts, not going to get very far with that either, this day and age. CT linears here, I don't think they were much good. I've got a few of them lying about. I never was that keen on them. And that's about it, guys, I think. The Altai power supply, gee me, there's plenty of them kicking about. But yeah, that's it really. It's just it's just a scruffy old catalogue from Nevada from 1991. Probably a bit of a boring video really, but it's one I had to get out of the way and clear up. And yeah. And if you've got this far, big respect there, guys. Anyway, guys, on that note, thumbs up for the channel wouldn't go amiss. And if you haven't already subscribed, it costs you nothing to do, and it'd be much appreciated. And we'll catch you later on, guys. Thanks for visiting.